Hi, my name is Brianna Berta, and this is my place in Canadian history. It all started back in Europe in the 1920s when my mother's father, Pietro Labate, was born, and in the 1930s when my mother's mother, Elda Marcello, was born. They are both born and raised in a small town on the outskirts of Rome, Italy, called Larino. Their life growing up under the communist regime was fair. However, when that crumbled and socialism came in, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. They went through many struggles, such as a shortage of work, and the work available had very low pay, making it hard for families to even get enough food on the table. In the early 1950s, my Nana and Nono both immigrated to Canada with their own families, who were both sponsored to come to Canada by other family members who were already living in Toronto at the time. They are part of thousands of Italians who were moving to Canada in order to live a better life, because of the lack of jobs back in Italy. They both then were considered Canadian citizens and began their new lives in Canada. It was hard at first, especially only speaking Italian, but each of them soon learned English and both got jobs and adapted to the new lifestyle quickly. And in 1953, my grandparents Elda and Pietro met and fell in love. They got married that same year and had 4 daughters. My mother, Brianna Labate, being the third born in 1963. Now, my father's parents both grew up in the early 1930s in Budapest, Hungary. My grandmother, Veronica Smozy, and my grandfather, Imre Berta, grew up in a time where there was a shortage of jobs and money, which made life for them difficult. My grandparents met in 1955 and got married a year later. After World War II ended, Russians invaded Hungary, and late 1956 the revolution occurred, which drove many Hungarians to flee the country. It was illegal to leave Hungary at this time, so my grandparents tried to escape. They ended up getting caught and spending one night in jail. They later tried to escape with nothing more than their clothes on their backs and struggled to begin their new life in Canada. They quickly learned English and adapted to the Canadian culture. They ended up having 2 children, a daughter and a son. My father, Joseph Berta, was the youngest of the 2 and was born in 1961. Both my parents grew up in North York, Ontario. They both attended Sir Johnny Macdonald High School in Scarborough, and funny enough, they never met. However, fate played a part of them meeting in 1983. They fell in love and they were married 7 years later. They had 2 kids. My brother Jesse was the firstborn in September of 1993, and 3 years later I was born, March 2nd of 1996. Sometimes in life people are faced with certain struggles and challenges. However, it is those struggles and challenges that make every person unique and help them create their life story. I'm Brianna Berta, and this is my place in Canadian history.